Alright gamers, welcome to the second episode of the TeeCast with George Ravenholm and Ethan Big Gakesy Poses to join us for this episode. Welcome, boys. How we doing?
Wow. I'm doing grand.
Ethan, how are you doing? Ethan, seriously,
great.
how are you doing?
Fine. Great.
So, I thought today we would talk about our Year 11 and Year 12 software development / computing projects. Now, George, what are you working on in Year 12?
Oh, I'm working on this thing that like auto-drews my work rosters.
Ah, that sounds
Except I finished that part, but as a stupid Easter egg, I'm cause you see, cause our teacher like really likes Dr. Mario for some reason, I'm making a whole Dr. Mario clone in it. In C#, yeah.
That actually sounds pretty interesting. How are you doing this?
Well, you see, it's rather simple. All you have to do is, you see, instead of using a variety of various amounts of picture boxes, you see, if you get a panel, you can actually, and overwrite the paint event, you can actually gain a graphics context of which you can just render to, which is very useful. The only thing is that you may have to make a subclass of that panel to enable the protected member of that double buffered and set that boolean to true, and then the graphics is like smooth and not flickery garbage. And then once then you can draw, you know, you draw your pills and viruses and play some sick beat, and there's a game loop, and you guys aren't listening, and then there's more code, semicolon code, and then you have a game.
Oh, that actually sounds pretty weird. So like, did you like do this completely from scratch?
Basically, yeah.
What?
Actually,
Yeah.
I looked up a little bit, like as a pre-warning, like to how to make Tetris, because it's like the similar logic.
Yeah.
I didn't want to look up how to do Dr. Mario. I wanted to do challenge myself, and I got bored. And it turns out I couldn't find anything on YouTube about how to make a what's it called, Dr. Mario. Yeah. Yeah.
So like, did our teacher, the Gloof, otherwise known as Mr. McGlade, help you anyway?
No.
So you had no
I helped
teacher
him
help at all?
I helped him once fix someone else's project though.
Oh, what was the issue?
It was something like he had a file, and when he was saving it, he was using spaces, and then like when it was loading, it was using tabs, and he didn't specify tabs or something like that.
Oh, actually, that's pretty weird.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, it looked very copy paste. It looked like a big mess.
Ethan,
Looks
you're
like
doing Year 11 computing in my class. What are you working on?
I have to grab my medication.
George, what else have you like done in that class?
Honestly, not that much.
Huh. So is like the class pretty boring?
Because no, it's fun. It's great. It's but not that much. I mean, not much coding. It's more of the same thing over and over again with the code part. But there's all this theory garbage. Yeah.
So do you
Still,
understand the theory,
it's
or do you like sit there with your arms crossed and you're like, fuck yeah, I already know this?
It depends. Alright, part of it is like project management, and what a special diagram they totally use in the industry is.
Yeah.
It's not the best course.
Do you?
You know,
Now-
I am actually rather disappointed how the course does not teach us aspiring programmers about object-oriented programming and how to use objects within the C# programming language. Yes.
What do you think about if the class will run next year?
Oh yeah, it surely will run.
Because
If it
from
doesn't
what I've
run,
heard from the teacher himself, he doesn't have much confidence, as my class is only class this year, and
Oh, my class was the only class last year.
yeah, but we don't have very confident people in our class. Like, you have myself, you have maybe another person, you have a bunch of people who are very good at programming. They understand it very well. But then you have another group of actually pretty much the majority. The minority understands it. The majority sits there with like the fucking their hands on their temples, like, bruh, what is this?
To be honest, though, I feel like it is the same with my class. And you got to remember, right? The other like half of the subject is the theory, which is really easy. So
It's
they
just
probably
like
will stick around.
I plus
Like, I
plus.
feel like in our class, not that many actually know how to code.
Yeah.
Out of even out of the little group of us that can code, like, you know, there's a couple people in particular. Well, one person in particular who's like particularly garbage. Cough. But like, yeah, most people suck at coding, and they all desperately copy of Stack Overflow and try to copy each other at the end. So I think they're okay. So they'll probably stick with it.
Would you like?
I
to
remember
give a
one
hint?
time actually, I was approaching the end of the assignment in this portfolio, and I saw some guy's code that everyone was copy pasting. That did it was like a price calculator.
Yeah.
The thing is, this like code for the price calculator had all the variables named like variable 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was an enigma.
Oof.
It was so garbage.
Would you like to give
but
a
like,
hint to this garbage person?
oh, some year 12.
Oh, okay. So you're telling me a year 11 student like yourself is doing better than a year 12 student in your class?
I guess it's not that fair though. I did programming before.
So are most of the year 12s in your class like first timers or no?
Probably, yeah. But that's not an excuse. I know, shout outs to my guy, Stephen Bala, right? He's a year 12 I've spoken to, yeah, because he's and like, he's actually knows what he's doing. And he's actually pretty good. I saw his programs. His programs look nice and they run well. And he's like programming newly. And he says it's a little hard at times, but like, he can figure it out, so.
Well,
Yeah.
What kind of projects has he worked on? Like a game? Like what kind of applications?
I'm not sure what he did in like year 10 or anything like that, but he's working on some sort. He calls it like an event manager. And last year he made like a stocks thing, like a stocks management, and like it had a really nice looking UI.
Stonks manager.
Yeah, stonks. Would you like to buy some of my stonks? Actually, yeah.
No, I'm alright with not buying mortar strikes on civilian areas.
God damn it.
Alright, so George, what else do you want to talk about?
Why talk about me when I could just chuck and know you and talk about you? You do year 11 computing. Now, what are you doing?
So currently we're in our first programming part of, well, not our main one. At the start of the year we started doing fucking Excel documents. It's like, bruh, this is like so easy. It just equals sum and then just like highlight all the cells you want to do. But then was it recently? So we did a programming like a main task. So we did HTML. We built our own websites. From what I know, myself and Ethan, we worked pretty closely together on it. I worked on one about artificial intelligence. Ethan, what was your topic?
Google Stadia.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that garbage.
Google Stadia is like fucking weird, but anyway. I got.
No, I don't like it. Like, I'd rather own my games.
Yeah, I got pretty solid mark for mine. I think a B+ for my HTML programming, which is actually pretty nice. I know other people in the class got like D+ and stuff, and they didn't manage their time very well. Never worked on it at home, so. And then
that reminds me, the lawsuit. I'm actually suing the sir right now because he used my website as an example apparently this year.
Yeah, he did
without my permission.
So George had a website and like the banner just fucking changes color, and he showed us up to it, and me and Ethan like looked at each other like super suspectively, like, I think I know who might have made this. And then like later he came up to us like, yeah, that was George's, and like, so you know you have a lawsuit on your hands, yeah?
Yeah.
So we've continued on with programming. We've started C#. Like we started a little bit of it last term. We made a what was it? I think it was guessing game. Yeah, it's like. Yeah, it was weird. It's like, no, it was a dice game, that's right. And you had to guess the addition of the numbers and stuff. That one, I finished that before we started term 3. Other people finished it in like the first, like, the first week of the semester. I finished it real quick. I know Ethan finished it as well. And then we got the holidays. I had no homework. I finished my project that we're working on, which was, I think it was application about the guest game as well. That was the holiday homework. And just before we left, the sir had shown us Hello World, which is a very strange little YouTube video, like a guy like fucking types in the sky.
Oh, we watched the full one in year 12. Like, year 12.
It's not fair.
The ending's not funny. It's just like 1 divided by 0. Whole world dies.
Oh no.
I just spoiled it, didn't I?
I think right now we're doing I think it's the actual SAT, and it's like, it's our 3rd project in 1 week. We've already done 2. And it's like, you have to take it's a restaurant billing system. So you have to go from like entree, salads, mains, desserts, drinks, the quantities, the prices, the GST, the subtotals, the total, the discount, the table number. I
swear it's Sophia's restaurant, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I think it is. But it's pretty weird. The variables are like obscene, but yeah. I'm still working. That's where we were meant to start, I think tomorrow or next week. I'm still working on my fucking, what's it called? Oh, we're working on paper, scissors, rock. I'm fucking like, I can think of what I'm doing, but I don't know how to put it down on time. It's just like, if the computer's choice equals to this and your choice equals to this, then fucking you lose or you win. That's it.
And the easiest way will just be to like, just do a bunch of if statements for every combination. Yeah, there's not that many.
I was thinking of doing that, but then me and Ethan, the dumbasses we are, we were just thinking of even more complicated ways to do it. Array of strings, and then it randomizes in the console, and then that's the computer's choice.
Why not just pick a random number?
I know, like from 1 to 3, and then 1, 2, 3 is assigned to like a certain string. That's what I was thinking of doing. I need to finish it by tomorrow. I think Monday, so I'll probably bring it home with me. Anything else to talk about?
Well, how's your have you been working on any personal projects of programming outside of school?
Password manager.
Oh, Ethan, talk about your password manager.
Oh, it's garbage. It's a Dekinter Python module thing, and it's basically you input a thing, which is basically like a username and then a password, and it stores it in a text file. And there's like a text editor on the side, all in one program, and you can like read and write to something.
You know what? This whole programming topic is pretty interesting. It's something that we are well immersed in. You know, I do believe that this could be a topic we could use for further episodes to come in the TeeCast. The best podcast. Well, the original and the best podcast of the school.
Well, George's friend, VMagix, a member of George's Discord, Homewrecker, shameless plug, he is also a very well maintained programmer in Lua for like Gary's
Codeends, yeah, Codeends Master, yeah.
Codeends Master. He currently has.
He has been granted the official Homewrecker badge of CAC bypass.
Elite CAC
bypass, man. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like fucking god tier in his like Discord, which is like insane. Like to get that, you're just like
not quite
kaboom.
Wow, that is amazing. Absolutely phenomenal.
Well, George,
you know, actually, what is all of our favorite programming languages?
Favorite? I've been working in Java, like Node.js, which is a JavaScript-based little language, and C#, and I've done Lua in the past before.
Oh yeah.
What have you worked on?
Yeah, well, I like C. I actually really come to like C# ever since computing's made me learn it. It's actually a pretty good language. I did a tiny bit of Python. It's retarded for anything that's more than 10 lines. Like, it gets stupid. I hate Go.
You hate Go?
Right? Go is the worst language ever. I don't know how to describe it in words, but how do I explain it? It's like, it's like when you push enter and then you put the, yeah?
Yeah.
So it's like inlined. It considers that a syntax error. You have to put it like without an enter. It's thoroughly munted, and I proceeded to uninstall it. Even good old big boy Glade likes it too.
It appears we have Phantom Eagle typing in the chat. So Channel Zero just says,
"What is to go to heaven?"
Should we invite our special guest
to join it? Would you like to join?
Just down there.
Please welcome our special guest.
Hang on, while it's paused, we'll do the.
Please welcome our special guest of tonight.
Hey, what is up, guys? Gamer Rusif here.
So, Rusif, you're a member of our school community. We covered this a little bit in episode 1, but episode was quite short. This is a lengthy episode as well. What is your opinion of Miss Gutterson's action on personal devices in our school?
One word: liberal.
What? VMagix is here again?
What? Well, you see, the phone badge could have been done better, but also we kind of asked her. asked her to do it, you know,
Yeah.
recording fights, taking photos of like sex and all.
Whoa! Did you say recording fights?
Perhaps.
Fights?
Who
What do
was
you mean,
recording fights? I want to know.
I don't know.
Would you say that some
That's
year
what I've
8s had
heard.
set up a Facebook page where they would organise fights, and then at the same time they would go to bloody shops and hit each other up?
No.
Or did that happen?
I believe it happened.
Well,
Yeah.
well, as you
Perhaps
see,
there could be an
obviously,
image of the
you know,
Facebook page right now.
well, the administrator of you know, School 17 really does want the best.
For her students, you know, no phones allowed. No, that's not good enough.
Yes.
Our awesome Gutterson Mind Führer has decreed that no phones or personal devices are allowed. Now, Rusev, we covered this in episode 1 as well. What is your solution to the phone? What is the bypass that you have discovered?
Well, I've heard a couple ideas, you know, strings with cups around the school, but I like the idea of walkie-talkies.
Oh. So, if we were to get walkie-talkies, per se, what would
Yes.
how much would they cost, and like, what are we going to use them for?
You know, you'd use them to communicate around the school with your friends. Only with your friends,
Yeah,
since you can change the frequency and all.
yeah. So, like, you'd say, like, you'd have, like, a group chat, and, like, someone types in chat, oh, yeah, guys, today we're using this frequency, and then everyone's on that for the day.
Yeah,
It's a German
guess that will
Nazi
work.
code where they keep changing the frequency every 12 hours.
Yeah, so, essentially, we're doing
Oh, the
our
Enigma.
school's version of the Enigma code.
Oh yeah,
Let's call
encrypted
it
communication.
the Enigma code. That sounds pretty good.
I like. You know, I feel like when the thing is though, like with Scudderson and stuff, like they walk past lockers checking for phones. I always hear this in my head. I always hear like I don't know. I just think of like
Restricted incursion in program. Jury 6 investigate and report.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've actually got a point to raise, and I'm sure George heard it after school. I was speaking with a fellow friend of mine that goes to the school, correct? And they heard Mr. Harrison and like another teacher walking by, and Mr. Harrison asked this teacher, "Hey, how many phones have you confiscated?" And the teacher replied like 2 or 3. And then Mr. Harrison started laughing, and he's like, "Oh, I've confiscated 5 phones today."
Do you reckon they have a syndicate of, like, betting on how many phones they can get?
Yes, you see, this concludes that there could be a competition between the teachers to see how many phones they can confiscate.
So you're telling me our school is corrupt?
Meh,
Perhaps.
perhaps.
it's legal.
So it's not
It's
necessarily corrupt.
absolutely illegal.
Are you a phantom eagle that cannot make definitive answers?
Perhaps.
Alright then. Ethan, what is your opinion on the phone ban?
I think it's garbage.
So, what do you reckon we should do about it?
Kill the
Sing the muffin song.
fucking kill him.
I actually agree with Ethan. That sounds like a great way to solve the issue. But let's go back to Rusev now. Rusev, what was the
Yeah.
school's
Kill the
representative
teachers.
council's involvement in the issue?
Well, you see, right from the beginning, when Miss Goddison kind of brought this up as like a quote-unquote idea, the SRC kind of unanimously decided, yeah, nah, that's not a good idea. But as you can see, she went ahead with it anyway.
Yeah. So, what kind of conversations happened between you / your peers in the SRC and Miss Goodison?
Well, I remember we made like a letter to the principal listing all the ideas against.
So you're
Not
telling me she didn't
funny.
even come to you in person, and you couldn't even speak to her directly?
Well, she did, but like only for a brief, very brief moment of time.
So this Führer of our school would not step out of her office for 3 seconds to hear from her students' feedback.
No.
Well, that's just fucking terrible. That's going to conclude today's episode. Alright gamers, we're about to head out.